This next debate is Cat Stevens versus Cat Williams. Yeah, because both their first name's Cat.
I love it.
You love it? Okay, it's good, right? That's fun. Okay. On the side of Cat Williams, please get up for Emily. See you in Heller. Yeah. And on the side of Cat Stevens, get up for Dan, San Fran, Van Man, Van Kirk. All right.
Great.
Going first, on the side of Cat Stevens, Dan Van Kirk, everyone.
Hi, guys. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to be let's just call it out first off. This isn't really a debate. Just because of the fact, like, if you look at what these people have done over, like, the course, length, accomplishments of their career, it's obviously Cat Stevens. But I don't want to, like, rip on anybody apart, because I believe that, like, Cat probably has, like, something maybe, like, legitimately wrong with him. And I'm talking about Williams. So I'm not going to do that, because you can't. But what you can do is talk about what someone did. You're like, I don't have a great background, and my stepdad had a buddy named Bill Pinkston, and like Bill, he liked to play a game called like Let Me Throw You Over the Fire, and Bill had, it's true, and Bill had like a lot of like post-traumatic stress disorders that he got out by throwing kids around the backyard of a house, but you can make fun of that act all day long. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys like a little story, okay? Now, also, the only things that other than name, the only things that like Cat Stevens and Cat Williams have in common is they both were involved, and Cat Stevens still is, with Islam, and that's it. Nothing else, unless they were both in Norbit. That's it. Or Scary Movie 5. The hits just keep on coming with Cat Williams. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you guys a story. It's a timeline story of the greatest autumn anyone has ever had. And that was had by Mr. Cat Williams. Let's begin. November 1st, 2012. At a show in Denver, he starts doing push-ups, taking his shirt off, mumbling and dousing himself in water, then inviting a heckler up on stage and spitting on him, which may have been, to me, I hope he like asked the guy to stand still and did it, but maybe not. He then jumps off the stage to find another heckler, because one wasn't enough. He got heckled for dealing with a heckler, engaged him in a shoving match, nobody says who won, that escalates into a near brawl before he bails, chastises the crowd, and promises refunds to everyone, which no one ever received. This was day 1 of November. November 9th. Williams is sued for $5 million by a former assistant who says that they were sent to the hospital because he beat them. That's not even funny. That's just mean. November 15th, it does get better. Williams is arrested on charges of assault with a deadly weapon after an 18-year-old claims that Williams hit him with a bottle while on board his tour bus. Now, on this one, I'm actually going to defend Williams because he got on that bus. Like, if you get into the monkey pen, you're going to get shit thrown at you. That's on you at some point, so I'll give him that one. November 16th, Williams once again halts a performance in Oakland, this time after a mere 10 minutes following a monologue. Nobody likes monologues. Which mostly saw him taking off his clothes and attempting to fight at least 3 members of the audience. This is also Act 1 of Birdman. What's the most amazing thing to me is like no one has legitimately kicked Cat Williams' ass yet. November 22nd, Thanksgiving. Took it off. Why not? Nothing happened that day. November 25th, Williams is involved. This is where it gets real good. He's involved in a long, erratic police chase in Sacramento after he spotted driving a 3-wheeled motorcycle. Not 2, 3. He's a comedian. On the sidewalk. Reportedly, Williams takes his helmet off at one point to yell to pursuing officers, "I'm not gonna stop." Guess what happens next? They call off the chase. That's all it takes. You just wait. Guys, come on. No, you got to catch up. I'm not stopping. All right, we're good then. We'll take off. November 25th, continued. Might have heard about this one. He then makes his way into a Target store, walks up, seems to have a normal conversation with the person who does like the checking out, then smacks that young man in the face, gets on a rascal, and leaves. Never arrested. November 29th, William makes his official entrance to Seattle. Oh, I skipped one. This is great. He's supposed to do 2 nights in Seattle, runs out of gas on the way there. So what does he do? Slashes the tires of the Hummer he's in, then gets another car just to run into the Hummer. Doesn't take that car to Seattle, misses that show, gets there that night, ruins that show, gets kicked out. Somebody yells at him. He hits them in what was described as like a baseball bat, hits that person in the head, then fights 3 people in his dressing room. No charges filed. Then he says, you know what? Cops, don't arrest me. I promise I'll leave Seattle. Guess what he doesn't do? Leave Seattle. The next day, he goes into a bar, breaks a pool cue, goes full Seagal on a person, okay? Tries to fight them, they kick him out. Then, in the greatest flicking maneuvers of all time, he argues with people in a car, flicks a cigarette that goes through the window, hits a woman under the eye. Now, that is not cool, but in terms of like flicking something, that is the best you can ever do. I will give him that. He then later that night gets kicked out of his hotel, does an impromptu interview in the parking lot, says he wants to buy a yacht that was recently decommissioned and is retiring from comedy. That's Katt Williams. Cat Stevens just sung songs, guys.
Dan Van Kirk, one more time for him. And on the side of Katt Williams, please give it up for Emily Heller, everyone.
Thank you. This is a debate trophy. I just wanted you to know I had it. So if you vote for me, you're right, and if you don't, you're empirically wrong. I also want to thank Dan for making my arguments for me. All of those things are awesome. I didn't realize you were pro-heckler. Wow. Fascinating. Truly fascinating. Katt Williams beat up a heckler, something every one of the performers on this show has thought about doing. And he fucking did it. Twice in one night. But you're right, a lot of that behavior doesn't make a lot of sense unless you think about it this way. He's a fucking FBI agent, you idiots. You think cops just leave a black man alone if he says, I'm not gonna stop? No, he's in the fucking FBI. He showed them a badge. But you're right on a few points. One of them mainly being, this isn't a real debate because they haven't told us the metric we're supposed to use to define how to compare these two people. They haven't told us, are we debating which one's better? Are we deciding who would win in a fight? I mean, we know the answer to that. If we're gonna debate that, we fucking know. It's the one who would be willing to fight, which is Katt Williams. So I just figure it's important that we kind of cover all of our bases. So let's talk about a few different things. There's a bunch of different ways we could compare them. We could compare them on their careers, which, granted, Katt Stevens had a long career that he himself rejected. He was like, I don't want to do this anymore because it's bad. Kind of decided that for us. What other ways could we? Who would make a better firefighter? I think Katt Williams. Who has better hair? That's a tie. Who is the most alive? I looked at, they're both alive. I put that in there because I thought maybe Katt Stevens was dead and he's not. Who has the most children? Katt Williams. He adopted like 8 because he's a nice guy. How about that? Katt Stevens sings about fathers not being there for his kids. Katt Williams is like, fuck that, I'm gonna actually adopt kids. I'm going to instantly be 8 fathers. Suck my dick, cats in the cradle. But let's talk about this on a fundamental level. They're both excellent at their craft. I think we can agree on that. They both had problems with the government. They both changed their names. It's really hard to compare them on any of those metrics, so let's just talk about on a fundamental level what the difference between these two people is, and that is the medium they work in, comedy versus music. And I'm gonna put this on you, the audience. I know for a fact that you value comedy over music because you're at this show. And none of us are singing. So unless my opponent wants to sing the rest of this debate, which he's welcome to do, I put it on you, the audience, that it would be hypocritical of you to vote for my opponent on the very grounds that you yourselves have chosen to value comedy over music. But even if you decided to value music over comedy, there's a Katt Williams clip for you that I want you to hear. That's gonna eat up the rest of my time if they don't play it.
Oh, yeah. We got the. Do you want to see it too?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
fucking play it.
I know I see some of y'all look. I understand if you ain't smoking weed, 'cause you got a good job, then by all means make your pay your food. But if you ain't got no job and you're not smoking weed, I don't know what the fuck you are. If you ain't smoking weed, 'cause you got a good job, then by all means make your pay your food.
I fucking dare you to try and put a laugh track over a Cat Stevens song. You can't do it. That's all for now.
Emily Heller. All right. One more time for Katt Stevens. Give it up for Dan Van Kirk.
Hey, everybody, it's a great show. I know we've only known each other for a while. If she'd told me backstage, I'd have done it. Okay, a couple things you need to know. All right? I spared you some truths, but I saved them as well, and I'm going to give them to you. First off, when Katt Williams decided to hit that person with a microphone like a baseball bat, guess who came over and offered that person money to not have him arrested? His tour manager. You know who that is? Suge Knight. Okay? Guess who doesn't have Suge Knight as a tour manager? Katt Stevens. When he did finally get arrested in Seattle, guess who bailed him out? Suge Knight. If Suge Knight is the voice of reason in your life, call your mom. I'm gonna J.K. Simons it. Call your fucking mom. Things have derailed. Now there's something else I want to say. Williams has 8 kids. He only adopted 7, okay? Not 8. Let's not give him 8. It's a whole human being he didn't adopt. And one of those kids, he almost lost to a nanny who claimed that the kid was better off with him, and then when he called her a, quote, slanderous bitch, she gave the kid back. So no one is worrying about this kid, and he doesn't get credit for 8. Now, let's talk about Katt Stevens. You know where Katt Stevens was living with his family when he was a little kid? Above Moulin Rouge. Not the Moulin Rouge, but a place in London called Moulin Rouge. And there's something for that. Another thing, 1969. It's like living in Paris, Texas. Yeah, it's Paris. Here's the deal. 1969. He gets tuberculosis. If he got that today would make him the fucking king of the hipsters to get an old-timey disease that killed all of Edgar Allan Poe's friends. Okay? Now here's what else he did. He dated Carly Simon. And for those of you who aren't American and don't know, Carly Simon was the 1970s version of Taylor Swift. If you dated her, she wrote a song about you. She wrote 2 about him. Both of them became hits. Nothing bad to say about Katt Stevens. And trust me, she would have fucking said it, okay? Then, Katt Stevens had hits like, oh, I don't know, Peace Train, Father and Son, Wild World. These are fucking anthems. And yes, he did quit music, but do you know why he quit music? Because he was up in Malibu, fucking around as cats like to do. Caught in a riptide, didn't know what that was at the time, thought he was gonna drown. He reached up to the heavens and he said, God, if you save me, I'll devote my life to you. Now, according to him, probably high as a fucking kite, a wave picked him up and carried him to shore. So what do you expect him to fucking do at that point? It happened. He had a goddamn George Bailey moment where everything worked out. Okay? Then, to prove to you how great of a guy he is, he takes 28 years off. Okay? I don't want to forget this list. He takes 28 years off, doesn't sing, doesn't do anything. These are the awards this guy has won while he's not doing music. 2003 World Award, 2004 Man of Peace Award from the Nobel Peace Laureate Committee. 2007 Mediterranean Prize for Peace. I don't know, it's probably for hummus. Two honorary doctorate degrees for services in education and humanitarian relief. Was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The guy takes 30 fucking years off, still gets into the Hall of Fame in 2014. He also wrote that song, The First Cut is the Deepest. Yes, the song you only know because of Sheryl Crow. 30 years earlier, wrote that song, sold it for $46. We don't care. He's got other hits. His music's been used in movies like Harold and Maude, Rushmore, Remember the Titans, We Are Marshall, and Almost Famous. Katt Williams was in Wild and Out. I'm going to end with this. Anybody here have pets? Had a pet? Cat? Dog? You love that animal, right? The animal sometimes means more to you than people. I got a video queued up here. This is all I need to say about Katt motherfucking Stevens. Oh, also one other thing. After 9/11, he did a show for 9/11 victims. Donated every proceed from helping kids across the country, survivors of 9/11, and impoverished children in the world. Okay? 2 years later, he's on the no-fucking-fly list. They won't let him into the country. He's not even mad about it. He says, just a mistake. Some other Yusuf. Check this out.
You may fade, my dog will always come through.
He loves his fucking dog as much as he loves you guys.
Man, Van Kirk coming back strong. Yeah. I was hoping he played the same video as before. That'd be a lot of fun. All right, let's wrap this cat fight up, huh? Yeah, like that joke? That's a fun joke. All right. On the side of him, Katt Williams, Emily Heller, everyone. One more time.
I'd like to respond to a few things my opponent said. He talked about Katt Stevens being saved by God in a wave in the ocean. Maybe Suge Knight saved Katt Williams from something, and he's devoting his life to him. You don't just dismiss Suge Knight. There are consequences. Let's cut him a little slack on the Suge Knight front. Also, if Suge Knight is your voice of reason, that's kind of a good excuse for some of the stuff he's done. Am I wrong?
No.
Katt Stevens was born above a place called the Moulin Rouge. I'm not sure how that helps his case at all. It's one of the worst movies ever made. Katt Stevens dated Carly Simon. She wrote songs about him. My opponent himself made the comparison that she's basically the Taylor Swift of her day. That would make Katt Stevens the John Mayer. Not a point us a bunch of awards that Katt Stevens has won. As we've learned in the past couple weeks, it's fucking easy for white guys to win awards. Not that easy for black guys to win awards. He wasn't even working when he won those awards. You brought it up yourself. They were going out of their way not to give those awards to black guys. That's all I'm saying. We can't go by awards. If we were just going by awards, this debate would not be taking place. We would just be looking at their Wikipedia pages, and this would be over. Obviously, that's not the metric we're supposed to use to assess this argument. Earlier tonight, I took to Twitter. I said, hey, everybody, what's your favorite thing about Katt Stevens? And I said, hey, everybody, what's your favorite thing about Katt Williams? Separate tweets, separate calls to action. Here are some of the things people said about Katt Williams. His sweet, effeminate charm. The hair. The voice, haha. His early specials were insanely funny. His luxurious hair. And here are some things people said about Katt Stevens. Nothing, I didn't write any of them down, they were all worthless. One person said something about Peace Train being good. I don't know what that is. You know what else I don't know what it is? A fucking moon shadow. Guess what? The moon does not cast a shadow on Earth. It cannot follow you around. What is he talking about? I know what Katt Williams is talking about. He says, enjoy your motherfucking life. That's real. You should enjoy your motherfucking life, and you are not being followed by a moon shadow. I'm not sure how much more I need to say. I want to point out that my opponent did not sing his entire debate. He also didn't really address that argument, so it stands to reason that he agrees with it. So I'll take his last speech as a forfeit. That's how debate works. I don't know if you guys know that, but I do. I've got 1 minute left. I'm just going to spend the rest of the speech showing you a video that, it's a Katt Stevens song being covered by Boyzone, which is not a thing that happens to any of Katt Williams' work. So fucking suffer through this. Katt Stevens made this happen. He said, yes, you can do this. Enjoy your nightmares tonight. Adopting 7 kids is still pretty good. None of his kids are in Boyzone. I'm more afraid of these guys than Suge Knight. Do you want mercy? Do you want this to go away?
right. Let's see who's the best cat is, right? All right. Let's vote and see who wins this debate. This was a fucking great one, wasn't it? Give it for both these guys. If you're on the side of the man born above Moulin Rouge, you're for Dan Van Kirk and Cat Stevens. If you're on the side of Cat Williams, you're for Emily Heller. Emily Heller's your winner. Give it for both these guys one more time, huh? All right, that was fucking awesome. Think if she didn't say it was Boyzone, I was going to Shazam it.